Two grown men, co-workers, football fans, zero expertise. Mike, George. Since there's nothing else on TV, sit back, relax, and see what happens when two guys who work at the cable company steal 30 minutes of local access time while no one is looking on a channel that nobody's watching. This is the Mike and George Experiment.
It's Friday! Oh, thank God. This is the Mike and George Experiment.
Yes.
George, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks. It's great to be here.
It's
a long my first
week,
show.
And it's only Tuesday.
Mike,
for us.
what
we're shooting on Tuesday.
We're shooting on Tuesday, by the way.
By the time you see it, it'll be Friday.
And the Thursday night game will be over. But it is prime time, by the way.
What a long week. And
what
a
in the
great
hell?
What a strange weekend for football.
What in the hell is going on with the NFL? I have no grasp. I don't have any grasp. Obviously.
Clearly, we have no grasp.
I think Matt, our producer, is the only guy that has a grasp.
Matt has a grasp.
And yeah.
Matt went 13-3 this week.
Congratulations, Matt. Congratulations. Last weweek, we both went 13-3, and we couldn't win nothing.
Nope. This week,
I don't.
You went 8-8. At least you went 500. I went 7-9. And you told me. I said, all right, I went with the Lions, but I'm changing it to the Redskins. And you're like, don't do that.
Oh, Mike,
you tried to help me. You were right. You were right. Well, I was wrong. I am at the bottom of the list here. Matt is leading. His record is 33-15. George is 31-17.
Oh, I'm right there.
And I'm 30-18.
All right, we're both right behind you, Matt.
So don't listen to us. We don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Can we copy your paper this week?
Anytime, George.
Hey, but I got to tell you, we had good picks. Who would have thought that the Titans would have beaten the Chargers? I mean, other than Matt.
Well, because, I'll tell you. You know why? Because on that last scoring play, there was offensive pass interference, big time.
All right.
Even it was mentioned.
We'll give you that one, George.
It was mentioned.
We'll give you the one on your team.
I want the replacement.
Right.
Refs
Who would
back.
have thought that the Browns, after dumping off Trent Richardson, would have beaten the Vikings in Minnesota?
The Vikings are pretty bad.
No. You know who's pretty bad is the Houston Texans.
Right.
They lost to the Ravens. Ravens hadn't won a game yet.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty bad. How about
Packers
San Francisco?
Oh, we'll get there. How about the Packers losing to the Bengals?
When they clearly had the game in hand.
The only reason I was rooting for the Packers is because I picked them in the football pool.
Yeah.
But I had Giovanni Bernard on my fantasy team. I have him, and he got me a lot of points. I'm happy.
You got a lot of points this week on your fantasy team.
I did well.
We'll get into that.
But the Falcons lost to the Dolphins. I guess the Dolphins are a real threat.
Are they for real?
I didn't give them the respect that apparently they deserve.
Well, not,
And I clearly didn't give enough respect to the Colts, or I gave too much credit to the 49ers.
I don't get that one. I picked Andrew Luck, the quarterback for the Colts, to have a really big year this year.
The two where I thought I was taking a chance was the Bills and the Redskins, okay? That I was prepared to lose when I wrote them down.
Right.
But not those others.
No, it was, like I say, something's wrong with the cosmos. I'm telling you.
Congratulations, Matt.
Congratulations, Matt.
We did...
but there's still something wrong with the cosmos.
We had some exciting NCAA games, too.
But it was a crappy week for competitive games. I think 70 is the new 50
Notre
now.
Dame, Michigan State was fairly close. Notre Dame squeaked by 17-13.
Right.
Clemson beat up NC State 26-14. Number 4 Clemson. They just keep it up. Boy, they're going to be in a serious BCS game.
That's right.
And Alabama got by Colorado State 31-6. But I'll tell you, Alabama fans need to be concerned because they should have run that game from beginning to end. They should have scored. They should have scored at least 50 points. They've got problems, and they need to be concerned, and they need to be realistic. I mean, LSU looked fantastic this week. They're firing on all cylinders. Alabama still has work to do, and they've got to get busy and do it quick because somebody's going to put them down and take them right out of the running.
How did their defense look this week?
Everything looked a little better, but they should have been. The defense should have been doing better. The offense should have been doing better. But Colorado State scored 6 points, but they were getting first downs. They were moving the ball. They were a threat. They never really seemed to be out of it.
I just think there were a lot of uncompetitive games this week.
LSU 35, Auburn 21. Auburn didn't look completely crappy. They looked pretty decent, but LSU was firing on all cylinders. And hey, how about the Wyoming Cowboys? 56, Woo! Air Force 23. And they were playing in Colorado Springs.
All right. Well, like I say, there were some really uncompetitive games, but it sounds like we had a couple.
And we got some good ones coming up. I'll tell you about them right after this break.
See you right after the break.
Come on. Welcome back.
Howdy, folks.
Hey, George, there's some upcoming college games I wanted to tell you about before we move into the NFL.
Where are we going?
And then we didn't talk about the polls. We need to talk about that too.
And I've got the polls here.
Why don't we do that before we talk about the next week's games?
Let's talk about the polls. Okay, well, Alabama, the polls have been turned upside down. They got 56 points and they're number one. But Oregon is gaining. Last week they had one.
You mean they got 56 of the first place votes? So they're losing first place votes to Oregon.
Oregon,
and deservedly so. I don't look down on those coaches that move their votes. That's a smart.
Well, you're not happy with Alabama.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I want to see more.
Okay. Well, Oregon went up from 1 vote to 4 votes, so they're creeping. They're creeping. We got Alabama, Oregon, Clemson, Ohio State, Stanford, LSU.
There you go. Number 6.
Looking freaking really good.
They were doing good.
Yeah, they were at Louisville, Florida State, Georgia, and Texas A&M still hanging in there. So at number 10, Texas A&M, they stayed where they were.
All right. Well, we've got 2, 4, 5 SEC teams in the top 12.
There we go again.
And 7 in the top 25.
Looking good. SEC is looking good.
I'm still waiting for Wyoming to peek into the top 25.
Well, they're not there yet.
Well,
last week
they manhandle Air Force. Then I think one of these other teams loses, and we got to make room.
Well, we don't have them yet. Last week they weren't on here either, but we only had the top 22. So.
All right. That's right. All right. Well, this week we got a couple good games coming up. Virginia Tech at Georgia Tech. LSU at Georgia. Remember, Georgia's favorite for that one.
Well, that's the game of the week, isn't it?
Probably.
I think that's the game of the week. I think so.
Yeah. Arizona at Washington. Washington Huskies are on fire. I'm excited. I love it when they're doing well. Mississippi at Alabama. Texas A&M at Arkansas.
Mississippi at Alabama. So you're looking for big things from Alabama this week.
Well, they better get something going because that's a team that could really spoil their season. That could spoil their season.
Right on.
All right, now we talked about last week's NFL games. Horrible. But how about Peyton Manning and the Broncos?
Oh, you just like him because he's on your fantasy league.
No, I like him because he is good. He's a winner.
Well, he is.
And now they've established a running game.
Right.
Yeah. Monday night, they were running all up and down the field.
Right.
And that didn't make me happy fantasy-wise because I have Demaryius Thomas. I need him passing, not handing off.
Right.
But they were getting yardage. They got scores. They're a run threat. They're a pass threat. They're a play action.
That's the first game I've watched of Denver. I haven't watched a whole lot of Denver games this year.
Well,
I will say one thing about them. Folks, I don't like the Denver Broncos. They're arrogant and cocky.
They're not cocky.
What do you think, folks?
Gracious. He is gracious when they win. He is gracious when they lose. Now, I didn't like when they did the rock, paper, scissors thing to see who was going to run the ball into the end zone.
Wasn't that funny?
But that's just going to give the Raiders fodder to come back at the end of the year. I think it's the last game of the year for them.
Aside from not remembering the whole game, Pryor looked pretty good for the Raiders.
Yeah,
he had a concussion in that game.
Good. He is.
And
Raiders, they don't stink like they used to. Their record may be different, but they're not as bad.
Pryor looks like a good choice for the quarterback for the future, I think.
Well, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Let's talk about week 4.
Yeah, Thursday what we put
night.
down here, it's going to stink.
Thursday
Next week,
night.
Matt'll win the thing again.
San Francisco, who's having a really hard time, is going to St. Louis. Yeah.
They are. And what do you think?
I took San Francisco. I think they're going to snap back. All right. Pittsburgh at Minnesota.
Hey, there's a great game in London. 2 0-3 teams, 0-6. I'm sure that's what the NFL was thinking when they booked this game. And then next time it's the Jaguars.
Who are you taking?
I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Really? All right, I'm taking Minnesota.
All right.
Pittsburgh's not going up till Friday.
Right.
They're not flying in. They're not landing until Friday.
They're probably landing Sunday, I'm sure.
Balmer
and
Buffalo. Who are you taking?
I'm taking Balmer.
Me too. Cincinnati at Cleveland. This is a good game.
Oh boy, Cleveland, had a great game last week, but I still got to go Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's surprising how well they did because I think there would have been a revolt in that city had they lost the game. They gave away their number 1 draft pick, Trent Richardson. Well, they didn't give him away. They traded him for a 2014 pick.
first round.
But they won that game and they look good.
They look pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've got to go with Cincinnati because I think they look pretty good.
But their punter, the Browns punter, has as many passing touchdowns as Brad Weed.
Indianapolis Colts at Jacksonville.
I'm going for Indy.
Yeah.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's just a default. I'm not taking Jacksonville this year at all.
No, we talked about that.
Right.
I think we're going to talk a little bit about it a little later, too.
All right. Well, let's...
Seattle.
We'll do Seattle. Seattle at Houston. Houston's playing like crap. I'm taking Seattle. Who are you taking?
I'm taking Seattle because Houston's playing like crap.
Right. Come on back. Watch this message, will you? Cheers.
Hey, welcome back to the primetime edition of the Mike and George Experiment.
Hey, thanks for that high energy bring back.
That
was awesome.
Back. Yeah.
All right.
Arizona.
On with the NFL picks for week 4. Arizona.
At Tampa
Traveling to
Bay.
Tampa.
Yes, I'm going with Tampa.
I'm going with Tampa, too. And Tampa's favored, but I don't quite understand it because Arizona's been looking pretty good.
Decent, yeah.
And Josh Freeman, not so good, but...
Yeah, I think he's out at Tampa after this year, I believe, so we'll see.
Right. Well, next, Chicago is going to Detroit.
That's my upset of the week, which is weird because Detroit is favored in that game.
That's my upset of the week, too. I also took Chicago.
Yeah, Detroit.
I like how the Bears are playing.
I do, too.
I mean, they've won some really close games, but the key is they're getting the wins.
Right. But
and those early season wins, when you get to the end of the season, it's those early ones that you wish you could have back. If we just tried a little harder, then we got better through the season. They're getting those.
All we needed
wins.
was a field goal. Yeah. Jay Cutler, he's famous for starting out strong and fading. So I'm still waiting to see.
Giants are going to Kansas City.
The Gents at the Chefs. I'm going for KC.
So am I.
All right.
New York Jets traveling to Tennessee.
Tennessee just barely squeaked one out last week, thanks to offensive pass interference. But I am going for them.
I also selected the Titans.
Jets.
All right.
Now here's where we're going to.
The Cowboys are going to San Diego.
Yeah.
Cowboys are leading the NFC East.
But that's not saying anything.
Chargers, that's saying nothing. The Chargers have lost 2 games that they should have won.
Exactly. They're not. I'm going for my Chargers, San Diego.
So am I. I can't believe I'm going with those idiots again.
Give me that. Give me that bump. Give me that bump.
But I just can't in good conscience take the Cowboys.
I know.
Not because I don't like them, because I don't. But because I think San Diego is...
They've got to get out of that comfort zone. I think this is the week they do. They just do something in the game that they should have done in the other two games. So.
Well, the insanity continues on the next game. I'm taking the Redskins over the Raiders. How about you?
I'm taking the Redskins. I'll be political.
Misery loves company.
I'll be politically incorrect.
George.
I call them the Redskins.
Or
the Red Faces if they lose.
The Washington Americans, as Alex would prefer for us to say.
The Washington Americans.
All right, so don't take the Redskins. Philadelphia is traveling to Denver. Denver is going to kick the crap out of Philadelphia.
And I agree with you there.
Yeah.
I think Denver is a
They're favored by 10.5. I would give up those 10.5 points and take Denver.
The next one, should be a good game.
New England, Atlanta. Atlanta's favored by 1.5.
And the Pats. Well, I'm...
and Atlanta's another team that I keep picking and they keep losing.
And you're going to pick them again this week.
I'm picking them again.
And they're going to keep losing. Because I'm going for New England.
All right. Well,
Okay.
Can't blame you, but I'm sticking. I gotta.
You're sticking with Atlanta. Hot Atlanta. They've cooled off a little bit.
All right. Monday night, Miami's going to New Orleans.
This is my game of the week. I think this is going to show whether Miami is for real or not.
They don't have to win to be for real.
Oh, I think they do. I think they do to prove all the doubters.
They can make it a close game.
All those think they can butt heads that don't believe in it.
They can turn my. So you picked them.
No, I'm going for New Orleans.
Shut up! What about Ava's picks?
Ava's picks. Hey, Ava.
I also took the Saints, by the way.
By the way, both of us took the Saints. Game of the week. Chiefs over Giants. Bengals over Browns. Broncos over Eagles. Alabama over Mississippi.
Okay.
Texas A&M over Arkansas. And her upset is LSU over Georgia, which
so is
that doesn't seem like an upset to me.
All right.
So
watch this message and come on back. Welcome back.
Hello, it's good to have you back.
And
Thanks for sticking with us.
Hey, thank God it's Friday.
Yeah.
What a week.
Because it's Tuesday.
Hey, George, you know what time it is?
I do. Do you? It's the George True or False Shootout.
Woohoo! Yeehaw! All right.
We have some good questions.
All right, let's
this week.
hear them. Let's go.
Let's hear them. Let's go for the first one.
Okay.
The Browns miss Trent Richardson.
False. I think they will. I think right now somebody there is saying, "Oh, you see, we didn't need him to win." But no. I don't think they have that running threat. I don't think they're better because of it. Maybe they'll be better in the long run. But boy, they needed a win so bad.
That's amazing that they won. But I don't think they missed him because their running game stunk, but it stunk before he left. So
it didn't stink because of him.
No, but I'm just saying that I don't think he improved the running game because it really was crappy before.
All right.
So that's our first question, folks. Let's go to here's a good one. Should Mike Tomlin be feeling some heat? And I'm just kind of asking because I have a reason, but
yeah, I think so. I mean, the Steelers have a lot of talent on their team, but they don't seem to be able to get it together. They have a fantastic quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger, but he just can't seem to connect with anybody. He's getting sacked. He's getting yardage, but they've got some problems. I don't know what the answer is, but yeah, I think any coach who's not winning needs to be feeling heat.
Right. And I think some people are saying that he did a lot of his winning with Bill Cowher's leftovers. So,
no.
Hey, come on.
I don't agree with that. I mean, Cowher's been gone for a long time. Let me tell you how long Cowher's been gone. For years after he was gone, people would say, "Hey, we could get Bill Cowher," and now he's been gone too long.
No, they're not
saying let's talk to Bill Cowher anymore. He's been gone too long.
Is he still in existence? Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's been gone a while. This is Tomlin's team,
right? He has to take full responsibility,
and he's not feeling heat because of whatever Cowher has done, hasn't done, will do. He's feeling heat because his team isn't winning,
stinking up to joy.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
I agree.
What's up? What else?
NCAA did the right thing when they gave Penn State a break by restoring some of the scholarships and backing off on some of their penalties, reducing the penalties.
I don't believe they ever should have taken scholarships away from that program because that was a criminal act done by an individual to innocents on that campus.
Right.
And he was associated with the program, with the football program, but I don't feel that they should have taken them back. And why not give them all back at once? Why stagger it across 2 years?
Right.
They're not going to have all their scholarships back till 2016.
But they are going to get some.
So I'm glad they're taking steps in the right direction, but no, I don't think it's enough.
But they are doing. I think they're doing the right thing. Maybe just not fast enough.
They're doing the right thing, but still, it's not. They're not making them whole. Right. They're punishing these kids who were there. They're punishing fans of the program.
They're punishing kids that weren't there at the time and that sort of thing.
Right.
So,
where are those scholarships going? Are they going to other schools? Are they going to other sports at Penn State?
Right.
As far as I can tell, they're just banished from awarding those scholarships.
They're non-existent.
Well, kids need to go to school. These kids that have been focusing on athletics, not all of them have the means. I think anybody can go get a student loan, but I don't like the NCAA. You
didn't like the whole thing in the first place?
No, they had no place there, in my opinion.
All right.
What else have we got? Because we got some emails.
I've got one more. The Jacksonville Jaguars would be a competitive SEC team.
No, I don't know who they would beat. Maybe Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt's looking pretty good this year.
Yeah.
I don't know who they. No.
Well, it would be.
I know they're pros.
They are pros, and they're stacked at every position. Supposedly, they've got great talent. But in Jacksonville's
there's something fundamentally wrong there. They have a wrong ingredient
Jacksonville's
somewhere.
Case,
maybe
that's not true. They don't have.
Hey, we got some email. If you want to send us an email, you can write to themikeandgeorgeexperiment@gmail.com. Amy writes, why is Georgia favored over LSU?
Hey.
And why does Kaepernick suck now? He's only given me 2 fantasy points this week. I
don't know why. I don't know why, because
I don't know why Georgia's favored.
No, I think LSU is a better team.
I do too. Jason writes, who is the worst team in the NFC East? It's got to be, it's between the Giants and the Redskins. Redskins are scoring points. Giants aren't. So I got to go with the Giants.
I'm saying the Giants too. I agree with that.
And Dallin writes, are the Chiefs the real deal? They're 3-0.
I still am, of course they're in my division, so I'm going to give them an incomplete so far.
They're the real deal. Let me just tell you who they're playing. They're playing the Giants, the Titans, the Raiders, the Texans, who stink today, and the Browns, the Bills, and then they play the Broncos. They could be 8-0 by the time they face the Broncos, but then their schedule gets tough. Then they play the Chargers, the Broncos again, Redskins, Raiders, Colts, and then the Chargers. They are for real. They're good. They're winning games. Hey, thanks for tuning in. We want to thank our sponsors here in Helena. It's Robert Allen Nissan, Augustine Properties,
Thank you.
O'Shea's Aquadip, L&D Chinese Buffet,
Thank you.
Steve's Cutting Corners, Dave's Exxon, Preferred Auto and RV.
Yeah.
In Billings, we want to thank Stronghold Surface Solutions, the Home Improvement Warehouse, and Cadillac Jacks. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great football week. George?
You too.
Matt, congratulations.
Congratulations, Matt. Let me tell you a little bit about something, though. I have a thing.
Lay it on me. Come on.
Pretty
Come on.
weekend. I'm trying.